Hey, what's going on, bro? So right off the bat, I've got a big one for you. Patch 2.0 is live. Let's talk about New Game Plus first, because that's the headline everyone's buzzing about. Once you've completed the main story, you can start a New Game Plus save, and you carry over a surprising amount. Unlocked abilities, godlike ones are excluded because those are gated by story or exploration. All the attribute points you spent, unique weapons and armor and accessories, and any enchantments you've unlocked. Although those unique items are reset to level 1 so you don't immediately steamroll every encounter. On the flip side, the mode strips you of a lot of consumables and resources. Gold, upgrade materials, enchanting mats, food, potions, quest items, and fast travel progress, so it forces you to re-earn economy and exploration rather than just turning into a walking demigod. The devs also made enemies scale up across the board and gave them a chance to spawn with modifiers that can change how the fight plays out. Elemental immunities that flip attacks to elemental damage, or physical modifiers like haste, lifesteal, glass cannon type behavior, and even natural immunity to status. They raised the attribute cap too, from 15 to 30, so there's real headroom for building extravagant character archetypes if that's your thing. Character creation got a serious facelift. There are 3 new species to pick from in addition to humans and elves. Dwarves, who bring a tough, strength-oriented profile, Orlans, who are small, nimble, and quirky with perception and resolve boosts, and Aumaua, who are the towering, powerful types with big might bonuses. Each species now has small stat bonuses, and backgrounds give you additional attribute boosts, so choice at the character screen matters more than ever. If you're into min-maxing or making a character concept that actually plays differently, these additions matter a lot. If you like control over the numbers, the new custom difficulty options are genuinely deep and kind of addictive. You can tweak player damage, health and resource pools, elemental thresholds for status effects, regen rates, potion and food restoration, parry windows, carry capacity, and more. On the enemy side, you can adjust damage output, health pools, stun resistance, attack speed, aggro thresholds, and even companion stats can be tuned. There are also global toggles for prices, upgrade costs, fall, and trap damage. Basically, you can fine-tune a stealthy survival run, a glass cannon speed run, or anything in between. One caveat, using the custom options will invalidate the Path of the Damned achievement, so if you're chasing that, you'll want to keep the game's default hardcore settings intact. For people who love visuals and sharing screenshots, photo mode is in. Pause the game, set up a free or fixed camera, play with filters and post-processing, rotate characters, apply gradients, and capture whatever ridiculous outfit or moment you just engineered. It's surprisingly useful for showcasing character builds or sharing that perfect cinematic you got after a brutal duel. The update also adds a new weapon type, the Quarterstaff, which is aimed at that Archmage fantasy. Think bludgeoning combos that flow into wand-style stun finishers, letting physical heavy casters or spell-slinging battle mages feel satisfying in melee encounters. New stun finishers were added for one-handed and two-handed weapons too, so finishers are more varied and look cooler in combat. They've dropped a bunch of smart quality-of-life improvements. You can now change your envoy's appearance after creation via a mirror in the party camp. Workbenches are placed in the world so you don't have to trek back to camp to upgrade your gear. Backgrounds now give extra attribute bonuses so every origin feels meaningful. There's an option to skip dream conversation fluff if you're impatient. Powder kegs chain a little more realistically with a short delay. Now, controller vibration intensity can be cranked higher, keyboard turning was added for accessibility, and lighting across the entire game got an uplift. Conversations and regions look better, which matters when you're spending hours in the same zones. On the tech side, the XeS upscaler was updated to 2.1 and expanded to support Xe frame generation, Xe super resolution, and a low latency mode on more GPUs, so if you were waiting on smoother upscaling or lower latency on Intel Silicon or supported hardware, this helps. Ray tracing defaults and a missing NVIDIA reflex option were fixed. HDR mid-luminance options were added, and the game received a range of performance optimizations that should help stability across different hardware profiles. And yes, the patch goes deep on bug fixes and stability. The fog of war crash is addressed, a few lingering VFX and save-related NPC issues were fixed, some combat and animation bugs got ironed out, dialogue camera oddities were corrected, audio issues like cooking sounds were fixed, UI text overlaps and incorrect ability labels were cleaned up, and a raft of combat system edge cases and object interaction bugs were patched so loot, destructibles, and enemy HUD indicators behave more predictably. All of that combined means the game not only adds new toys to play with, but also makes the whole package feel tighter and less prone to the quirks that used to interrupt the flow of exploration and combat. So, yeah, that's the meat of the update. A proper anniversary package that broadens build diversity, gives you more control over difficulty and visuals, and smooths out a lot of the rough edges. If you've been itching to replay Avowed differently or finally try that weird hybrid you've sketched out on paper, this patch gives you the canvas and the tools to go for it.